If the deceptive mask of the left versus right paradigm lie hasn't slipped enough for you to see the abject hypocrisy on the smirking face of politicians, surely you can see it now that Kamala Harris has acquired the coveted endorsement of Dick and Liz Cheney. First of all, we're going to hear from Bernie Sanders. What does he have to say about it with this existential threat to democracy looming in the possible election of Donald J. Trump? We're going to hear what Kamala Harris has to say about this, how she is absolutely pleased as punch and honored that Dick and Liz would throw an endorsement her way. And then we're going to listen to the words of Liz Cheney herself, the daughter of Mr. Halliburton, just to drive the point home. Foist Pointy Sanders.
Senator, before I let you go, I do have to ask you about her recent endorsements by two people who are not progressives at all. Of course, I'm talking about Dick and Liz Cheney. This week, they said they're going to support her. They're going to vote for her. It's worth noting, former Congresswoman Liz Cheney voted with former President Trump more than 90% of the time, was quite critical when President Biden picked her as his running mate. Would you welcome seeing Liz Cheney out on the campaign trail?
Well, Kristen, what I think Dick and Liz Cheney are saying is that in this existential moment in American history, it's not just issues. Cheney and I agree on nothing, no issues. But what we do believe in is that the United States should retain its democratic foundations.
So Bernie Sanders is speaking positively about a man who has dedicated his entire career to attacking democracy.
And it's not just Cheney. I think there is a significant number of Republicans that say, well, you know, I may not agree with the vice president on this issue or that issue, but I cannot support somebody who's a pathological liar, somebody who fomented a insurrection to overthrow the election return. So
what about fomenting the war on terror predicated on lies? And Bernie, did you forget about the approval of the Enhanced Interrogation Terror Program? If there was anybody who is a threat to democracy, or what it looks like would be a threat to democracy, it would surely be coming from the Dick Cheney camp.
I applaud the Cheneys for their courage in defending democracy. Obviously, on all the issues, we have very different points of view.
Different points of view, like supporting wiretapping and spying on Americans by the NSA. Dick Cheney actually supported the detention of Americans without charge, without trial, and without due process of law. Remember Jose Padilla, Bernie? I would call that a little more than a different point of view. Now let's listen to Kamala Harris talk about how honored she is to have Dick and Liz's endorsement.
I'm honored to have their endorsement, and I think that what they both, as leaders who are well respected, are making an important statement that it's okay, and if not important, to put country above party. And I'm honored to have their support.
For how long have we been talking about Trump stealing the election or trying to steal the election? I mean, Trump only dreamt of stealing an election. According to some, Bush and Cheney actually accomplished that objective. These people are absolutely crazy, and that anybody would follow Kamala Harris, especially now with the Dick and Liz Cheney endorsement, you've got to have your heads examined. I urge you.
And I think it's an important statement right now. A lot of what I think is happening, and I was just talking with some folks here in Pittsburgh about it, is that people are exhausted about the division and the attempts to kind of divide us as Americans.
I'm exhausted over the duplicity, the hypocrisy, the dehumanization, the demoralization, and the division you guys foment. How about that? How about being appalled at something that's worth being appalled over? Dick Cheney? Are you serious?
And them stepping up to make this public statement, I think, is courageous, but also for people like the folks I was just talking with, it really reinforces for them that we love our country and we have more in common than what separates us.
A professional denier and destroyer of democracy, Dick Cheney, You're talking about, well, yeah, we have more in common than what separates us. Like what? I mean, didn't you say democracy is the main issue and we need to preserve democracy, whatever that is, at all costs? By the way, the founding fathers said democracy is two wolves and a lamb deciding on what to have for dinner. And by the way, you're the lamb. Democracy is the tyranny of the majority. That's what they're trying to protect. So let me ask you, is it even worth protecting democracy? But let's say democracy was synonymous with liberty. We got to protect liberty at all costs. Well, then you would call out Dick and Liz Cheney for attacking liberty, for compromising liberty, for destroying the lives of Americans, for enhanced interrogation, for spying on us with the NSA.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you,
Are you ready to face Donald Trump?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Best part of debate prep for you? What's your favorite?
Being at the spice store, I finally got out of the debate prep to look at these spices. Best part of debate prep so far.
And your main message to Trump in the debate, what's the one thing you want to really get across to him?
Well, there's a lot, but look, it's time to turn the page on the divisiveness.
Turn the page on divisiveness as you're ecstatic and honored to have the endorsement of the king of division, the king of brutality, the guy who could serve as the poster boy for the destruction of democracy.
It's time to bring our country together, chart a new way forward.
Yeah, that ain't the new way forward. Here is the response of Liz Cheney as she reveals why she's voting for Kamala Harris.
So, bottom line, why did you make this decision to support Harris, and why did you do it now?
I've been voting for 40 years. My first vote I ever cast was for Ronald Reagan in 1984. I've never voted for a Democrat.
Wow.
And it tells you, I think, the stakes in this election. Donald Trump presents a challenge and a threat fundamentally to the republic. We see it on a daily basis.
Donald Trump represents a fundamental threat to the republic, not dear old dad who spent his entire life attacking the republic, even attacking American Republicans. It kind of makes you wonder if people like Liz actually have a soul.
We see it on a daily basis. Somebody who was willing to use violence in order to attempt to seize power, to stay in power. Someone who represents...
Her dad would know about using violence, wouldn't he? Promoting the Iraq war predicated on weapons of mass destruction, destroying entire countries, destroying entire cities, torturing otherwise innocent people.
Unrecoverable catastrophe, frankly, in my view. And
speaking of unrecoverable catastrophes, have you looked at the budget for the NSA lately?
We have to do everything possible to ensure that he doesn't, that he's not reelected. Given how close this race is, in my view, again, it's not enough. You have many Republicans out there who are saying, well, we're not going to vote for him, but we will write someone else in.
Right.
And I think that this time around, that's not enough. It's important to actually cast a vote for Vice President Harris.
You know what the banksters say, don't you? Doesn't matter who the people vote for. Every vote is a vote for us. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to follow me over on X at High Impact Flicks, on Facebook at High Impact Flicks, and of course, go to my channel, Here's the Deal. That's our police accountability channel. I appreciate you guys watching these videos, liking the videos, subscribing, and sharing these videos with everybody you know. Remember, in times of universal deceit, telling the truth, which Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump don't know how to do, is a revolutionary act. I will see you in the next video.